Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, this beautiful country, and how we're going to fix both of them together. And the content that I'm going to show you right now is, I don't know how to explain it. The New York Times putting out pieces in the light of the assassination of the CEO in New York, saying that suppressors aren't used in crime that much, as in are not. And after all, there's 5 million of them in circulation, and it turns out that they really aren't used in crime. Pinch yourself to make sure you're awake. Everything's going to be linked into the description box below. I can't wait to hear what you guys think. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, because we are spreading freedom to and fro across this country. And thank you for that support. All right, so as I pull this up, guys, there are certain things that when I see them, let me resize that real quick. It gives me pause because I'm waiting for the shoe to drop. In this article that I'm about to show you from the NYT, the New York Times, the shoe doesn't ever drop. Now, they either miswrote it, or the editors missed it, or they just missed the punchline where they go against gun rights. But listen to this, all right? Tell me in the comments field below if this does not sound like they're laying the groundwork for suppressors to be removed from the NFA. You just tell me. All right, let's get it. The Manhattan shooter used a silencer. Nearly 5 million are registered in the U.S. Now, normally, you'd think, here comes the boom. They're going to go after suppressors, right? Well, here's the subtitle. The tightly regulated firearm accessory has long been associated with Hollywood hitmen, but is rarely seen in real-life murders. Wait a minute. The New York Times opens up with a strong salvo like that, and then they come back and undercut the entire thing, saying it's never used in crime. Do the gun controllers know? Because I'm pretty sure that they told us the whole point of suppressors being banned and in the NFA was because it was like obviously a weapon of mass destruction that you screw onto the end of a firearm. But the New York Times is saying that they're rarely seen in real life murders. Go on. Guys, I'm telling you, let me show you this, and we're going to extrapolate a few things here. I feel like this is a trial balloon, but let me explain. So in the first portion here, the gunman used a silencer, a tightly regulated firearm accessory that has long been associated with Hollywood hitmen, but is rarely seen in real-life murders. Again, they didn't bury the lead. That's right there in the front. Though legal in 42 states, so therefore showing how prominent they are, they have been subject to federal restrictions since the days of Prohibition-era gang violence. That's obviously from the National Firearms Act, the NFA. You guys know that. Purchasing one requires submitting fingerprints and a photograph, undergoing a background check, and paying a $200 transfer tax, which, in my opinion, is unconstitutional because you can't tax a right, but neither here nor there. Now they're going through the road of saying how difficult it is to actually get one. They're legal in 42 states. They're incredibly difficult. There's an entire tax stamp process. There's fingerprinting and background checking, and after all, they're very rarely seen in real-life murders. Whose side are you on, NYT? Because something doesn't smell right. Let's keep going. Despite those hurdles, silencers have skyrocketed in popularity. Nearly 5 million are registered in the United States, up from 285,000 in 2011. So now they're extremely popular. Okay. The firearms industry wants to go much further. Oh, there we go. Now we're getting there. It is supporting lawsuits to overturn remaining state bans on silencers and pushing federal legislation to remove them from the NFA, which, by the way, go team, I'm 100% for. Put me down as the yay category. The 1934 law that made them harder to purchase. Those goals have been energized by Republican victories in the November election and a Supreme Court that is more gun-friendly than in the past. So now we're starting to get into what I think is happening in this article, because this is extremely unusual behavior from our gun-controlling friends at the New York Times. I believe what you're seeing right here is them throwing out the chum in the water, the blood in the water, just kind of trial balloon, saying, hey guys, this is probably going to be pretty common. So here's the real truth of which we've been hiding for decades upon decades at this point. But here's how they're never really used in murders. And there is a really deep background check. And there is a $200 tax stamp. And there's lots of other things that are highly regulated. So really, it's okay. It's okay, guys. This feels like they think suppressors are about to get removed from the NFA. That's what this feels like, because the New York Times is not a gun rights apparatus, but they are all about self-preservation. And what they do is they float these things through the media to get the Democrat political body, from the politicians all the way down to the constituents, used to the idea that suppressors might be removed from the NFA. That's what you're seeing. You can check me, you can subscribe if you'd like, and we can come back to this, but that's what it feels like. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Well, let's continue. Silencers are not often linked to crimes, although instances of their use have been gradually increasing, according to a federal trace data. Quote, this is Eric Adams, from the mayor of Eric Adams of New York. In all my years of law enforcement, I have never seen a silencer before, Mayor Eric Adams said on MSNBC's Morning Joe on Thursday. And so that was really something that was shocking to us all. Well, yeah, because it's illegal in New York. Kind of flies more so in the face that gun control is not working. So now let me kind of wrap this. Now that I've shown the body of evidence, shown you what I find very peculiar, here's what I think is happening right now, because they do this exact same thing, but in the inverse when the gun controllers have full control. We saw this in the Biden administration the first years. So they use the media to basically steer the politicians. Okay, the gun controllers, the leftists, the media, the Democrats, they use the media to float trial balloons and get something out into the common vernacular of the Democrat Party, because they're the only ones that still read this crap. So they'll float an idea, like a trial balloon, and you're very used to it. They'll get their constituency understanding that, okay, they're going to take suppressors, but don't worry, they have the judicial, and that's probably going to stand, and they have a lot of legislatures. They have all the bodies of, the Congress, the Senate, and the House, and they have the White House. So we're probably going to lose something. So guys, it's probably going to be suppressors, so don't worry, because they're never used in crime, even though for 10 years we said how horrible and egregious anything like this was. There's a $200 tax stamp and a background check, and there's so many protocols and fingerprinting. It's our wet list of dream for suppressors. So really, guys, it's okay, because it might get removed, but we'll be all right. We're not going to lose. When the Democrats have power, they did the exact same thing with all the background check bills, H.R. 1446, all of them. They did the exact same thing. They floated all these balloons about what they were going to take with gun control. And then as the tide slowly changed, they started backing it off very slowly in the media. Don't doubt this. It's science. We repeat it, we watch it, we see it all the time. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What is the New York Times up to? And I'll see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.